Alright.
I am in a public lounge, so if it gets loud around here, feel free to lower my volume and all that.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Okay. So, I've been looking at your Dota buff profile, and I got some questions for you.
Okay.
Number one, is this your first account?
Yes.
Okay. Is it your only account?
Yes.
Okay. So, you're still, even though you've been playing Dota since, December of 2013, technically, you're still very new to Dota, just because of the number of games you have
Yeah,
played.
I don't play all that much.
Yeah. Okay. So this makes it difficult for me to teach you for sure. I think the best thing for us to do is just look at our replay and maybe not dissect the replay so much, but just talk about like what makes a good Dota player, how you get better at Dota. The first thing I can tell you is that if you want to get better, you need to play more.
Yeah.
That's really important. Like you'll never meet a world class tennis player or a soccer player or a football player that plays once a week or something like that. They're constantly doing something. I don't know what your real life situation is like, but if you're someone who's strapped for time all the time and you don't have much time to play games, even just getting on and last hitting for like 5 or 10 minutes a day will help you so much. It will give you amazing results just doing that. Because here you have periods where you go like weeks at a time without playing.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to hone your skills in this way. Okay, so let's jump into a replay. Do you have anything in particular that you want to watch? I know you wanted to watch the in-house one.
Anything really.
Okay, so I'll see if I can download that one really quick, and then if you can't, then we can jump into a different one.
I sent you a Dropbox link that should work.
Yeah, I still I downloaded it and put it in the correct place and everything, but I still had issues playing it for whatever reason.
Oh, I see.
I don't know, what the issue is that is, but yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to download this.
Okay.
So that kind of sucks, but let's look at your profile. Okay, I'm also going to share my screen very quick. Let me know if it works.
It is.
Okay,
It
good.
works.
Okay, so do you have any like particular role that you like to play?
No.
Okay,
Not position one.
you don't want to play position one?
Generally no.
Okay, no, that's fine. How about mid?
Yes, actually, all the other positions are roughly equal.
Okay, so I'm probably gonna have you play mid then. Obviously you can play whatever you want, but I think it's generally better to learn the game on core roles, just because like their approach to the game is much more simple than the support roles. You just farm and then hit heroes and get towers, and then you win the game eventually, or you don't. Either one. But yeah, so I think that's what we should do. And I see you have some like mid hero plays or mid heroes played here, so that should be okay. Oh, these are ability drafts. Okay.
Yeah, you can try the Zeus one.
Okay, sure. So this is okay. All right, so you're Zeus. Okay, this all looks fine. Oh, you were playing against Viper or Sniper. Both pretty annoying matchups. Okay,
Viper.
yeah, so Viper is pretty tough for Zeus, actually. So yeah, this will be a good one to watch, I think. It's a good call. Okay. Also, you mentioned your games were around like 3 to 4K MMR. Did you mean the in-house or you're just the average MMR of your games?
In general.
Okay. Where were you getting that number? I'm curious.
My games used to be very high skill depending on who I stack with, but
Okay.
I've been losing a lot recently, so some of them are now high skill.
Okay. Yeah, I see that now. Okay. Yep. Okay, that's legit. So I'm gonna download this. Okay, so my approach to Dota is like very simple. In general, like I think a lot of people overcomplicate things and try to like run before they can walk. So they'll try to jump into things like team play and counter picking and all this other stuff. That it doesn't. I mean, it's good. It's good to think about that stuff, but it doesn't matter if you can't last hit and if you can't move around the map properly. So I definitely focus on those things much more, especially with newer players. So let's jump into this. Okay. Okay. So starting items look fine. Clarity is okay. Some people buy one branch just for the extra lasting power and some HP. I think the clarity is totally fine, especially if you get Bull Tangos.
Against Viper, would that? Because against Viper, I didn't expect to get any auto attack last hits at all.
Yeah.
Unless he messes up usually.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine to get a clarity. It's actually, I would say, better, because of like the way you argued. Okay. But either way, the most important thing is that you go for a bottle rush, whatever it is. So buying one 50 gold item is totally fine. Okay. So here you have. Let's actually look up a little bit earlier to see what's going on. All right. So your initial positioning is kind of bad. It's like very close to being good, but it's bad in this case. Basically, like if anyone shows up here, you'll be able to see them, which is great, but they'll be able to see you as well. Whereas if you stand up here, you know, right up here on this ledge, on the high ground, you can see them, but they can't see you if they're standing in this spot. So, you know, that's information for them. They can make decisions based off of that. So that's a small thing to adjust to. Okay.
Right, this is a 4-stack game. From CK to line, we were in a party.
Okay, cool. Okay, one thing I like that you're doing right now that a lot of people don't do at your level is you're moving your camera around to see things. And that might seem like very silly because that's just like in order to see things, you need to move your camera. But it's good that you're doing this right here and clicking on heroes. This is a very healthy habit. That's something you should really stick with. Okay, so you end up overextending a little bit here. And like obviously you want to go for the rune, right? Like that's what you want to do. You're Zeus, you want to get the money and then, you know, buy your bottle. Makes sense. But in this case, these guys are together. And like if they all turn on you at once, like they're about to do, you can take a lot of damage. Potentially die, depending on what spell Disruptor has. In this case, he already used Thunder Shock on CK, so you don't have to worry too much about that. But yeah, basically, if Lion was not here, I think there's a good chance that you die. Unless they decide to not kill you, which they definitely should have. But either way, the issue here is you just try to commit too hard to a rune that was very clearly not going to be yours. It would be slightly different if CK went in like right now and Lion went in as well, and Lion AoE stunned them. Then you could try to go for it, but even then I think it's still really risky. I think in general these guys just had a positioning advantage on you, so you shouldn't have gone for it. Okay, so you 10 go up, go to block. That's all good. Okay. You try to pull the wave back, that's good. Okay, so if you're in a position like this, like I just thought about this actually. So you tried to pull the wave back here by clicking on Viper, but he went into Fog. So what you can do is look up at another lane. So like, for example, if you try to do the same thing, you can flick your camera to top and then right click on Sniper, and then immediately go back and click back. And it's the same thing as clicking on Viper to aggro the creeps. Do you know what I mean with the aggro trick?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yep. Alright. Okay. Skill build is good. Okay. I think at this point you can actually be a little bit more aggressive than this. You don't have to give up so much CS. This guy is strong, but he's not like so godly strong that you have to be really afraid of him. He does have stick charges, so like you have to, you know, respect him and try not to get right clicked. But in this case, you can still be pulling the creeps back and trying to go for CS. You don't have to be playing so far back.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go for the rune. That's fine. Okay. So another trick you can do is, if you ever see Viper go onto the low ground, basically the way Magic Stick works is it only goes...
He has to vision me.
Yeah, he has to vision. Okay, yeah, you already know that. That's great. Yeah, so that's a trick you can do.
I try to stay away from my range creep, but I'm not sure if I did a very good job at this game.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, either way, I'm surprised you know that. That's quite good. Okay. So I'll help you a little bit. Obviously, that's not like a game changer by any means, but it's still pretty good. Okay. Good. Okay. So this is like not a bad play, but I think because this guy like still has regen, it's probably not the best. I guess he only has 4 tangos, so it's gonna take him a while to regen up here. I think it would be slightly better to save your mana though, like rather than going for this bolt. Like the rune is spawning and everything, but you guys don't really have the best control over the situation right now. Like okay, yeah. So going for the
yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is something that so I'm not very familiar with Zeus, and this is something that we wonder about. Is it worth the mana cost to just bolt him? Especially since he's corrosive skin.
Yeah, I think in this case, because he has corrosive skin, it's not. You know, obviously, if you're getting a kill, probably worth it. But yeah, in this case, I don't think it's worth it to harass. I think you're much better off just getting like 2 points in Arc Lightning and using Static Field and Arc Lightning to harass. Okay. It's different though, because some Vipers will like be stupid and they won't go corrosive skin, and they'll go for like 4-4-0 or something like that. That's just something you have to feel out based on the matchup. But in general, I'd say it's not worth it to Lightning Bolts for harass, unless you're getting them to a point where they're critically low, and you can either kill them or force them back to base because they have no regen. Okay, I do want to talk about this rotation here though. So you go for the rune at this point, which is fine. The real issue with this though is like you kind of allowed the lane to push up to this point. Ideally, when you're Zeus, you want to be pushing the lane as much as possible. I realize it's really tricky because you're playing against Viper, and if you push the lane too much, you lose control, and you can't really go for that many CS. But you also need to make sure that you keep control of the runes, and especially in this case where their supports are not roaming. They're staying very stagnant in their lanes. So yeah, just keeping the lane pushed will allow you to go for the runes safely. And here, it's actually worth it to like not go for it and just get these CS. I mean, Omni is getting these, and that's fine. But this is a lot of gold you're giving up, and you know this could be working towards your arcane boots or whatever. And actually, like if Viper was a little bit quicker or more quick or whatever, yeah, he could have killed you, and that would have been a big issue, and it wouldn't be worth it, obviously.
I should probably just have bottle crawled in this case, right?
Yeah, for sure. That would be the play. So it's weird that Viper went for a rune in this case, because that's just not something that Vipers usually do. I guess he had nothing else to do during that time, but yeah. So bottle crawling would have been slightly safer. If Omni was running with you, then it would be okay. But the big issue here was the lane was pushed to your tower. And in that case, like, you should just get the CS and bottle crow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, you didn't have any mana there. You might have been able to kill this guy, though. What does he have? No, he has survive stick, okay. Yeah. So that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I think at this point you just need to go back to base. Basically, like, you need to think of it as an investment of your time. Right now, you only have 1 Arc Lightning left to get 1 CS, and then after that, if you walk into lane, you die. Assuming this guy is, playing decently. Basically, if you were to ever last hit these, he just slows you with either Viper Strike or Poison Attack, and you get slowed and you die. With no counterplay, unless Omni is near you. So at this point, it'd be worth your time to just go back to base. Like, if you were to try to bottle crow right now, it would take too long for you to actually benefit from the regen. So it's better to just go back, get a TP scroll, TP back to lane. But it looks like you're going to stay for a bit. And this isn't, like, totally bad, right? Because you're still getting a little bit of EXP, but it's not that good. If you had gone back, you would miss, like, 3 to 4 creeps of CS and EXP, but then you'd be able to CS when you get back, so it'll make up for itself, and more. Okay. Yeah, and this guy, like, he should not be allowing you to get this rune. Like, his positioning should be, like, as close as possible to this area, so that if you were to go for a rune, you'd have to go bottom. But he knows Jakiro is going bottom rune, so, like, there's no point for him to be positioned in this way. He also doesn't have any, like, teammates on your team, or enemy heroes to be careful of. Like, an Omni Knight is not going to gank him. Chaos Knight's farming bottom. Darkseer's dead. Lion could gank technically, but he was just showing bottom. So, yeah, this guy's positioning is poor, and in this case, like, you get away with it. That being said, it's good that you see the opportunity to go for rune here. That's a good thing. Okay, and Disruptor is actually almost very close to making that a bad situation for you. Okay. Okay. So what were you gonna say?
No, I didn't know the Destructor was there.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's I don't know if you saw him earlier when he went for the rune. It looks like you did not. Okay, yeah. So part of this is because like you had to use your haste in order to access the regen. So this is like your only way to survive against these two heroes when you get glimpsed. So it's kind of unfortunate, but yeah. This is just part of the danger of playing Zeus, though, is playing against roaming heroes.
I mean, he was missing for a while. I think I should have stood towards
yes,
the bottom.
yeah, that's definitely the play. I was literally just gonna get to that, so that's good that you actually realized that. I'm actually very impressed by that. You have like 400 games played, and you're still like you're still reading the situation correctly.
Okay, if you're just reading that from Dota buff, that's misleading because that doesn't count like ability draft games and such.
Ah, okay,
Thanks.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's just where I was getting it from. But yeah, so you're 100% correct. You should just stand, a little bit lower. You basically have this ward to cover your back if they go for this. So any like kind of aggressive play they need to do that would come from this side would have to be like some crazy roam through this little path here, this little patch of vision. Or they could smoke, I suppose, and like go through this ward. But in that case, like you have no way to play against that unless you have like extremely good intuition. But yeah. So basically, long story short, just position a little bit, like position on the side of the map that you have vision on. And in this case, it's a spot. Okay. So you died. It's not too uncommon to die against Viper, especially if you get roamed on. Not too much to worry about. The way you need to come back in these games, though, is not really by farming. It's by farming up into a certain point, and making sure you're always available to fight. Still having a TP scroll, trying to keep, a decent amount of mana, so that if you TP in, you can cast spells and stuff. That's really important. And that's pretty much your big way to come back as Zeus. Okay. One thing here, while you were going for this, you should have been looking top just to see what was going on. And like check HP values, even if you look here and you decide you can't do anything, it's still good to like decide that. That way like that option is out of your head. Also, you definitely want to buy TP now that you have golds. It's really important. It's worth using the courier just for one TP. Ah, okay. Okay, yep. That's a good bait.
That was complete miscalculation on my part, so I line and I could kill
Mhm.
him.
Yeah, so I think you actually would have been okay, I think, if Lion had Hex skilled, because this is 2.5 seconds of like disable.
Yeah, I didn't know he did it. I called for that, so...
Yeah. Okay, so it was a good play if you went for the normal skill build for sure, which is like 2 points air spike, 1 point hex. But because he has mana drain, it doesn't work out. The only way you can know this is by clicking on him, which is pretty unfortunate, but yeah. Or I guess he could tell you as well, but yeah. So I think it was a good conceptual play, but because of the skill build situation, it was not ideal for sure. The bright side is Lion gets some EXP mid, so that's great. Yeah. You end up dying again. Okay, so that's rough. Still not the end of the world though. Okay, you get a kill here. Good. Okay. Pretty much whenever you TP into a lane and you have a bottle, you want to just spam it and use it as much as possible. You know about the okay, yeah, good.
I didn't do it this time, did I? No, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't. That's why I brought it up. But it's definitely helpful. You would have like maybe 60 extra mana here. So. Oh, okay. Yep, back in the game. Great. All you needed was 2 kills. It's good.
Can you click on the game stats? I want to see our relative net worth.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
So, net worth. Okay. So they actually have a very significant lead on you guys as well. Okay. So CK was laning against Jakiro and Lifestealer. Okay. I mean that makes sense. You guys just have relatively weak laners compared to them. Darkseer is a pretty strong laner actually, but not against Sniper really. So, okay, that makes sense. Luckily, you guys still have good killing power, though.
I think I should, after the first Darkseer death, I think I should ask for him to go to the jungle.
Yeah, probably.
Second, right?
Yeah, that would be a good call. I mean, that's kind of like the most common thing to do as an offlaner these days is just go jungle if it's a hard lane. It's better to be getting like a small amount of EXP and gold than none, and feeding at the same time. But yeah, I mean, you gotta be careful with that though, because I guess that could be pretty tilting for some people to be asked to like go jungle or whatever. But it's definitely the correct play. You're 100% right on that. Okay. Definitely at this point though, you want to pick up a TP, even though you're very close to Arcane Boots. It's really helpful against Viper. Not only is it good for like TPing to lanes and pushing and all that, but if Viper ever goes on you, you can just TP out. Or if, for example, you get glimpsed back, you can just TP as soon as the glimpse ends and still get out that way, depending on your HP, of course. But yeah. Okay. Okay. So like this is a good argument for this. Is this guy just like from a standstill position, just Viper strikes you on top of your hill, and you have no counterplay at this point because you're just Zeus. You might have been able to get away if you just immediately turned and ran, but it's pretty tough. It's like rather than turning, I think if you kept running, you would have lived.
Okay.
It's tough to say.
Dota kill me? No. No.
I don't believe so if he kept running. It might be really close, but like he wouldn't be getting these attacks off right now because you would be able to run around this little bend here. Like somebody cut down this tree for whatever reason, so you could have ran this way. But yeah, so I think if you turned, that would have been good. Or alternatively, if you had a TP, you could have just TP'd out, which certainly sucks, but it's better than dying. Okay. Also, one thing you want to avoid doing is when you're about to die like this, unless you're going to get a kill, of course, you want to avoid using your ult just, randomly. If you're going to get a kill, it's great, but when you use this and you don't get a kill with it, and you don't help your team get a kill, it's basically like, wasting the cooldown. So when you spawn in 20 seconds from now, you're still going to have a 50-second window where you can't really kill people that well. And you can't like assist your teammates across the map. So it's kind of bad to just immediately use your ult like this. Okay, so you end up going bottom. Really good choice. Alright. Okay, so in this case, it's funny. In this case, it's in your best interest to actually freeze the lane here. So you can push this out. This is fine. But then when the next wave comes in, you want to deny and just chill and like keep it here for a little bit, at least until you get like an item or just some golden XP. Like you're falling behind, so by you keeping the lane here, you're basically like you're not pressuring the enemy team at all, but you're giving yourself a little space to catch up. Eventually, you're going to want to push it out, like maybe when you get part of your Veil complete, or when you want to TP to a fight or whatever, but yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Actually, in this case, because so many heroes just showed top, I think it's okay to push. It's probably better to push, but let's say these guys did not just go for this aggressive play, then it would be better to freeze. But since they're showing top and they're pressuring, it's better to push. So you made the right call in this decision. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
By TP, great. You can also buy a Robo with the Magi here if you're going for Veil.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, Chikara cancels your TP. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you ulted here for Vision, like to try to see if anyone else is coming. Okay.
It was I thought it would be a team fight mid.
Okay, so if you're using it for a team fight mid, then it's not good. If you're using it for Vision, it's okay. Yeah, basically, like, since you can just move your camera no matter what, like, even if this guy's chasing you, you can just move your camera and check to see if there's a fight, so you don't have to just ult right away. It looks like there is going to be a fight, but if you don't move your camera, you have no way of actually knowing.
I mean, they were talking about, they were saying to, I thought they were saying to go in.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, I think it's still a better idea to just wait and look for yourself. Unless, somebody is specifically telling you, like, Zeus ult now. It's generally better to just look and get a better idea of the fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay.
Dire's structures are fortified.
So I see your guns. I should have TP'd here. I believe so, anyway. Yeah. Basically, like, the second this guy appears on your screen, you just need a TP and hope to God that nobody else is there. That's your best option for sure. But you'll definitely live if you TP. Okay, Viper was there, so... Actually, I would argue that you should have just TP'd in fog earlier. Like
I
back
was
here.
actually just thinking about doing that right before Lightsaber showed up.
Yeah.
I stayed like 15 seconds too long.
Yeah, because you wanted to like go farm the small camp or the medium camp or whatever. But the unfortunate thing about Zeus is he just kind of sucks at farming jungle. I mean, he's okay obviously because he has a lot of damage, but he doesn't have the most mana, even with Soul Ring and Arcanes, to sustain jungle farming because he needs so many nukes to do it. But yeah, so I think rather than going for these camps here, since there are just heroes, showing mid, it would have been better to just TP out and maybe go top. It's pretty risky to go top. I don't know. That's like the issue with this situation, right? Is no matter where you TP here, you don't really have that many places to farm. Mid is already, commandeered by 3 people. No reason to really go there for you. Top is really pushed out, so I'm not sure about this. This is certainly a rough decision. Alright. Also, rather than going Veil first, it would have been probably in your best interest to go for something like a Blink Dagger or a Force Staff. Blink is really good if you can preemptively position yourself well, and Force Staff is good if you find yourself in positions where you get hit by a Viper or a Life Stealer right away. Then you can kite them a little bit. That would benefit you quite a bit. You definitely need some kind of mobility item against this team though. They just have too many ways to slow you down and catch you, and yeah.
I was definitely thinking Force Staff over Blink, primarily because of Jakiro Sniper possibly preventing Blinks, and getting caught out by Viper or Light Stealer.
Yeah, no, Force Staff is really good, for sure. That's why I said, before I mentioned Blink, is it's better for, preemptive positioning. So, obviously you can't Blink if Sniper shrapnels you, or if Viper connects a Viper Strike. But if you Blink out of where the shrapnel is going to be, or if you Blink dodge Ice Path, or Viper Strike, or whatever, then, you'll be safe in that case. But yeah, Force Staff is, a fantastic option, for sure. It's much safer. Okay. That's fine. Gotta be really careful going for the rune here. I think you could have pressured this guy a little bit. What's he have? Yeah, he only has a Maelstrom. I think you could have just nuked him here. So 350, 350, 145. Maybe you don't kill him because he has stick and he can switch to strength charges as well. But I think you might as well just, Soul Ring and nuke him. It's free damage basically. And you're not really at risk at that point. Let's look at this. This looks like a really good fight to me. I think you backed out too soon. Okay. So you run up here. You see Sniper run this way. You guys don't have vision on them right now, I don't believe. I don't see any wards.
I saw the smoke. I was yelling.
Oh yeah.
Smoke.
Yeah, okay. So you guys do have this ward here. So you know exactly where they're going to be. In this case, you should have met them here around this corner. Just have Lion be stupid and just sit out here. And then if they go on him, then he just stuns them. And they die. Or alternatively, you could just wait for them around the corner and, stun them when they run around. And that would be fine as well. Oh, you also have vision here. Okay, yeah, so this is great.
Yeah.
So, because you have these 2 wards, this should be a very easy play. You definitely should have tried to go for a kill here. Lion has a very easy double stun opportunity, and he also has fingers, so this is definitely a kill on Sniper.
Okay.
If you had stayed. This is only because you have this ward here though, and you have some kind of vision. You knew exactly what they could have done, as long as they're going this way, which you can kind of infer that they are. If they were to smoke down mid, it wouldn't really make much sense. But yeah, I think you understand my point. So that would have been a really big kill, actually. He's a very high net worth hero. Okay. Okay. Doesn't look like there's too much to talk about here, honestly.
I got caught out.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is you just get Ice Path in a Disruptor ult and you die. Not exactly the most helpful for me to say, don't get hit by spells, but that's all I got here. The biggest thing is, when you are positioning against heroes like Jakiro, you need to, kind of keep this circle in your mind, wherever they're positioned. So, obviously you can't see this, but you need to, keep or entertain the possibility of them just Ice Pathing you right there. What happens if I get Ice Path when I'm here, next to the Disruptor? Okay, I might, worst case scenario, I get caught in a Disruptor ult and take a lot of damage. What happens if I get Ice Path here, under my tower? Okay, it's not as bad, but maybe a sniper can hit me and Viper can hit me. Something like that. So that's something you need to keep in mind when you're playing against like long-range stunning heroes. Okay. So this is looking pretty rough at this point. I'm not too sure about what you can do. I guess like the best thing you have going for you is a vacuum and stun combo, and you guys have a lot of damage other than that. But definitely a rough game. Okay. So Darkseer's pushing out top lane. That's good. Whenever somebody does Rosh, you want to make sure you time it. So just alt click on the clock, or just write down the timer.
Oh, we do.
Okay, yeah, that's very helpful. It's good. Okay, so this is rough, but part of the reason that people are that pro players are so good at turning around games in pubs is because they don't do what you guys are doing right now. Yeah, yeah, they're standing in base, or you're standing in base, which is like it's very easy for me to point this out right now, but it's hard to actually like do something in game because like okay, you see them do Rosh, but you have this ward that's great, but until they walk here, like you have no idea what they're gonna do. Like maybe they could be really dumb and just try to run down mid rather than going for the T2s. But in this kind of case, like you're already very close to losing, so you might as well like do something that would be advantageous for you. And I think in this case, it would be advantageous to either push out mid or go push out top with Darkseer and do something like that. Because maybe if you push out top together, then you can force somebody to TP here and either kill them or go bottom and fight a 4v5, something like that. Whereas if you sit in base, like the plays that these guys have, offered to them are push high ground or don't push high ground, and they're feeling very strong, so they're probably going to push high ground. Even if they don't push high ground, like it's good for you guys, but it's not that good because they're going to like farm the entire map, and there's nothing you can do about it. So in this case, it would have been very good to push out lanes and just like try to infer where they could be based on when they did Rosh, who's walking over wards, all that stuff. Okay, so when they show on this ward, you definitely need to like go push out mid or something like that. Need to do something. You can't just wait for them to try to end. It looks like you guys are getting ready to fight. Okay, yeah, you have dagger on Darkseer. Okay. So luckily, you guys have amazing high guard defense with Darkseer and a dagger. Still very scary, but okay. Okay, it's okay, GA. Okay. So Alexio dives for no reason. You guys kill him. Great. Okay, so let's look at this. Alright, so enemy team goes bottom. This is all fine. Mid wave is pushing in, I believe, anyway. Okay, yeah, mid wave is slowly pushing, so that kind of sucks, but it's okay. It's going to work in your favor eventually. Okay, they go for the T2, walk up. They smoke. This is a pretty good play by them, but they need to do it well. Okay, so I think their biggest mistake here is they tried to go for like a dive here. There's no reason for this. They could just very easily hit the tower. You guys end up getting a 4-man back wall, which is really good, but it doesn't really end up doing much. Basically, like if they just back off here and heal a little bit, and then come back to hit the tower, you guys lose because this is like this is all of your fighting potential, right? Like GA is popped, vacuum is popped, wall is popped. You don't really have much going for you. But because this guy dove, he's extending the game quite a bit. Because if he dies, then they can't push. You guys get more time to farm, get more EXP, all that fun stuff. So yeah, this is just kind of rough. Alternative, or a way you guys can approach this, especially if you're in a 4-stack, is before they finish the T2, you guys need to smoke and get ready to fight them like right here in this choke. Because most teams will just like, without thinking, just run straight down this choke point. And like it might seem counterintuitive because there's a tower right here, but in theory, you guys are not supposed to get this kind of play anyway, where they get 4-man backwalled or whatever. So I think bringing the fight to them would be your better option. Okay. It's still like it's hard for me to say this though, right? Because like that play that I just like outlined relies on them doing the smart thing and just like liquid fire hitting the tower, having sniper hit it and viper hit it, and like having them all spread out so they can't get vaxxed. But in this case, like they group up anyway, so if you find yourself playing against better players, maybe that would be a good option. But yeah. Okay, so anyways, this ends up going really well for you guys, despite having to buy back and everything. You didn't lose Rex, which was a good outcome for this situation, as far as I'm concerned. Still very underfarmed, but it's okay, we're getting there. Okay. Okay. She's got Shadow Blade, yeah. Okay. Okay, so yeah, most of this game just seems like it's just going to be high ground defense after high ground defense. One thing here is whenever you D-ward like this, you want to try to get the Observer ward. Basically, like,
clicked.
Yeah, it really matters though. Like if you go for the Observer ward, it's like if you're hitting the Observer ward, they have no vision on you after it dies, so that will help a lot. It's okay though. Okay. Okay. So here you kind of have to like trust your Omni Knight to repel you right away and not run away. You definitely could have gone to kill if you had stayed and just hugged this wall, and at least you would have gotten Sniper's Aegis right away. That would have been quite good. But instead he kites back. Okay. This looks really good for you guys. Yeah, Sniper's dead. Lifestealer's about to die. Okay, just kidding. Okay. So, this is tough to say. Like, Viper is still off the map until this point. So I think you can chalk this up to like overextension. It's tough to say though because you didn't really move far from where you killed Sniper from. But I think your best option in this case would just be to TP right away after you Soul Ring and try to get out. Yeah, I think that's like all you can do. Yeah, just Soul Ring Bolt and then TP, and that's probably your best bet. Certainly hard, but yeah. That's definitely a good habit if you're playing against Viper a lot, or you find yourself playing against Viper or other heroes like that. Okay. So I think at this point it would be more beneficial to go over another replay if you have another ranked game that you played. But yeah.
Sure. Let's see.
So.
Beastmaster, that one works.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
not terribly familiar with Beastmaster. So...
Okay. Well, he's one of my favorite heroes, so this will be good.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. So you're playing against... Were you mid? I'm assuming it's quad mid.
Offlane.
Okay, cool. You got Iron Talon, that's good. Okay. So Beastmaster offlane is basically like also Beastmaster jungle, depending on what lane you're playing against. In most cases, if you're playing against like really strong supports at level 1, then you just want to go jungle. It's not even worth your trouble trying to lane. The hero is a good laner after a certain point, like level 5, but he's kind of weak level 1, you know, against a tri-lane or a strong dual lane or whatever. So definitely recommend going to jungle in most cases. Well, let's look at it. Okay, yeah, so if I see this lineup, there's 4 good support heroes in lane. Tree is actually like extremely good in lane just because he has 85 base damage, which is a crazy amount of damage, and he also has Leech Seed, which is quite good. He's just really hard to trade with. Sand King is good in a sense that he has a stun, so he's automatically like a threat in lane. Ogre is very good at zoning if he doesn't go for the skill builds because he has high armor, high damage, high HP, and Ignite does a ton of damage for low mana cost. Same thing with Lina. Obviously all of these heroes are not going to be support because that doesn't make any sense, but you get the idea. Basically no matter what heroes are bottom lane, you should have trouble. So this would be a good lane to go jungle for sure. Unless you had a good support in your lane or something.
I was quite liking my lane matchup, I think.
Oh, you were liking the lane matchup, really?
No, because just how it actually turned out.
Oh, okay.
You'll see.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess if they don't harass you at all, you can, you know, bully the Spectre, which is quite true. I mean, I could see it going both ways, so, like, they just harass you together and zone you out level 1, and then you can't do anything. Okay. Let's go for, yep, that's fine. It's good. You didn't let your board die. Okay. Okay, yeah, you're actually just running this lane. So I'm assuming they went Treant Ogre offline. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So they picked like I can see why you did well on this lane now, because they picked like the 2 weakest laning heroes out of all these 4 heroes to go bottom. So this is definitely a good decision to stay. You can have a field day with these guys, especially once you hit level 5.
But I was also quite disappointed because don't think I did as well as I should have.
Well, I mean I don't think anybody does as well as they should.
Even in lane base.
Yeah. Do you mean like CSing and everything? Like getting more out of the lane?
Well, actually, no, CS is terrible because I'm not familiar with its attack animation. I missed a lot that I shouldn't have, but just in terms of the amount of harassing, I'll put a Spectre.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Okay. But yeah, either way, Beastmaster is like fairly weak at level 1, so don't worry too much about like being able to harass her or whatever. Level 5 you can definitely go crazy, but yeah. Okay, skill build is good. One thing about this, so as an offlaner, like this is very specific to the offlane role, but if you have a hunch that the supports are going to be pulling, and you can kind of tell this because like of the way they move, like if Sand King leaves a lane here just randomly at 1 minute 50 seconds and he runs up this way, he's doing one of 2 things, or actually one of 3 things, I guess. He's doing nothing, that's the first option, or he's going for the rune at 2 minutes, or he's going to pull. I think it's worth sending a boar just to scout and try to interrupt the pull. That's pretty tough, and you have to know the timing, and like it has to almost be like second nature to you, but it's something you definitely can do. And that will help you quite a bit. It would save you like 2 creeps of experience here. Okay. Okay, so you get some Osteds. All good. Okay, it's actually hilarious that this guy's doing this, and you have no way to counter it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand this quite that much, but in a way it's like okay, because when he does this, he's like kind of zoning you a little bit, so Spectre doesn't get harassed. It's still really bad, but it's there's some small things that are good about it. It's just a very funny play. Anyway, like it's good for you because you're gonna get free XP, and you just want to get level 5 as quickly as you can. So you get level 3 boar. That is when your hero starts to get crazy. Okay. Yeah, so this is just a familiarity thing with Beastmaster. Ideally, you don't let your boars die like this, obviously, like giving golden EXP is bad. I don't really have too much advice for this, because like just saying, oh, you should micro better is not helpful. But yeah, it just comes with practice, I think. Okay. So fine, you get Necromastery. Or Inner Beast, rather, sorry. Okay. Okay. So Hawks actually give like a lot more EXP and gold than the boar does, so you want to be careful about feeding them. It's generally better to like go for a really short range Hawks because the enemy team can't react as well. At least like when the Hawk is level or low level, so level 2 or below. So like rather than sending it all the way this way, you could send it just into the tree line here, and this would give you like a decent amount of vision, like just right here, and then maybe send it across and keep it in this line, and that would be okay. Definitely like it's important when you have low level Hawk to keep it in the trees though, just because it's so easy for the Spectre to just pick up 60 gold. I think it's 60 gold anyway. Let's look. Okay. Oh, it's 40 gold in this case, but still, that's that's 1 CS. That's quite a bit. Okay. Okay. Dispersion damage. Okay. I mean, this is kind of fine. Okay, so the boar dies, which sort of sucks. I think it was fine because you were like, when you do this, you're kind of like making Spectre hit you in a way, like it's almost like a taunt. And Potom could hit an arrow that way, but it ends up missing, so it kind of sucks.
I was expecting Murano to hit her arrow.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, it's definitely like tough. It's hard to read people sometimes, but yeah. So I think that was fine. Like you have the regen to come back into lane, so it's whatever.
Middle is missing.
Okay, by Iron Talon, great. Actually, this is something that's like specific to this game, but I actually think you could go bring up Basilius and just focus on pushing out the lane. Basically, these guys' only answer to you just chain pushing at this point with level 3 boars is Sandstorm, and Sandstorm is going to push the lane back, obviously, but the armor on your boars and the creeps will be very beneficial for pushing, and it'll make Spectre's life really hard, and you can also like spam a little bit more. So I think rather than going Iron Talon, that would have been a good option. And that's specifically because like you're having a field day in this lane, like you're level 5 at like almost 6 minutes, which is really good. You know, compare that to Spectre, like you're at the same level as her, which is great. Yeah, so you'd be able to chain push if you did that. Iron Talon is like great, don't get me wrong, for sure, but I think in this case it would be slightly better to go for a Basti Ring. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. So you'd been paying attention to the map and you saw Lina,
Radiant's middle
I
tower
believe
is under
anyway.
attack.
So this is fine. This is a good dodge on the stun. You're in back. I would argue that you should be hitting Lina with the Boris instead. It's a very like nitpicky thing, but she's the one that's gonna do the damage to you and kill you. Spectre is never gonna do enough damage to kill you.
Middle tower is under attack.
But whereas Lina has a DD, she theoretically could have mana for Laguna if you don't click on her and tell. But yeah, that's a very nitpicky thing. But I think that matters a little bit. Realistically, they probably can't kill you unless the stun lands no matter what. But yeah. Okay.
I mean, the ward didn't catch the thing coming down, did she?
No, I think she went through the tower. So like,
Because
she ran through this path.
She came out of the trees.
Yeah. I think that was fine. Like, you didn't have much counterplay to that. It's basically like have a hawk up and that's it. That's your only option. It might be a good thing to try is just putting a hawk like right here behind tower. I also like this spot behind tower. If I'm laning down here, it's just like if people try to deep TP, you can always see them. But this spot is totally fine as well. It gets the job done for sure. It's pretty tough to micro like all of those, especially since like for whatever reason you can't have two separate hawk hotkeys, so makes things difficult.
Middle is missing.
Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay, go jungle, great. Okay. Okay. So I think you had an opportunity to axe Lina here. I'm not sure if it would kill, but you were definitely in range. Okay, so you roar, then axes would go, yeah, they would just be barely at max range. So I think it would be worth it to try going for this play.
Hit Lina?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're still going to hit Spectre, right? Like, they're going to, come back and hit her. But I think it would be worth trying, for sure. I don't believe you kill her, though. Yeah. You probably don't. But either way, it's worth a try. You don't really lose anything off that, so... but yeah, so about this roar, I think it's like, if Quap has mana, it's a totally different story. But in this case, like, she has nothing left in the tank. She only has right clicks. And Bottom does not have anything as well. Like, she has mana, but she doesn't have any spells off cooldown, so she can't really help. Okay, so Spectre ends up dying anyway, so that's fine. I hit the jump ahead button. Oops. Okay. Let's go back. So I think it was a fine play. You could always make the argument that like it's not fine because Sand King technically didn't play perfectly, but I think that kind of stuff is kind of BS. No point talking about that. But yeah, if Sand King TP'd a little bit earlier, he could have saved Spectre. That would have been good. But yeah. So whatever. This is a fine play, I think. Okay.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fought.
Okay,
Radiant's
so
top tower
you
is under attack.
end up going back to base. Totally fine. Okay, send a hawk to scout bottom before you go. That's really good. This movement here that you just did with the hawk is excellent. That's really good, like, forward thinking. Okay. Nice arrow. Good stuff. Oh wow, they didn't get the kill.
Didn't kill her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't have Sonic Wave. Holy crap, okay. That's surprising. Okay, whatever. Oh, the good thing about this is you can scout. But yeah. Okay. That's unfortunate. I mean, I was sure she was gonna die, so I didn't say anything. But you could have used this Hawk to scout theoretically in the trees. That would have been nice. Certainly, like, yeah, it'd have to be a heads-up play, but it's an option you had. So actually, that would have been godlike, right? If you had sent your Hawk all the way from mid, all the way down here, and you got your team a kill with that, like that'd be such a good play. That would have been amazing, actually. Okay. Doesn't end up happening though. It's okay. All good. Okay. So yeah, she gets out. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. So yeah, here you can just push the tower. It's totally fine. This is what your hero's best at. I think in this case, like when you're pushing like this, it's if you're not gonna have a Hawk sit back here, it's actually okay to just knock the trees down with your axis. They don't do much that damage.
Shoot, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do that much damage anyway. Like it's not like this is your primary nuke, so I think it's worth it to just knock the trees down. That would give your team a lot of vision, obviously. That would help quite a bit. Okay. So Quap leaves, that's fine. I think that was a ambitious push. And you guys made them rotate anyway, so it's okay. It's okay that you guys just leave here. Go for him. Okay, that's good. You scatter with the boar a little bit. Okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, all pretty standard stuff. Not too much to say about this. You need to be a little careful, like right now, because Sand King could have Blink Dagger. I'd imagine he should really soon. Okay, he doesn't. Generally, like, if a Sand King is fully committed to farming, he can have it by like 8.5 to 9 minutes. Yeah, well, it's actually like around 9 minutes. I think it might be a little bit later, like 10 with the new the jungle changes, but
But he didn't do anything during the laning phase.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, no.
He wasn't stacking either.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that. So you can kind of like guess when he's gonna get his blink, especially when he's doing all his farming like in lane and like not doing much jungle. So I guess this is okay because you can kind of guess that he's not gonna have his blink. It's definitely something that as a pushing hero you need to keep in mind, especially since you have the power to interrupt his initiation with Hawk Vision and axes and stuff like that. So that's definitely something you specifically need to be looking out for. Okay. I mean, at this point, it just seems like all pretty standard laning stuff. So it's fine. Okay. Okay. One thing about this, I think instead of going for mid here, you should have just kept pushing bottom. Might seem stupid because, you know, you've been doing it for 15 minutes to no avail, but you're one of like the best heroes at just pressuring lanes by yourself because you have vision. You can just like, it's really hard for you to be ganked without, you know, the enemy team smoking because you can see what's going on around you. And you also have very good pushing power at the same time, and you also have really good solo kill potential with roar and, you know, summons and everything. So I think rather than going for mid and pushing this or whatever you're doing here, you should just be pushing bottom. It would be okay to do it by yourself too because you can, you know, stay safe with Hawk. And that would create a lot of pressure for your team to like do other stuff around the map. Or maybe, you know, you get people low and you can dive this tower. But either way, I think you should be just pushing this until you get the tower anyway. So like going to jungle is fine. You get golden EXP, but you're not pressuring the enemy team at all. Like you're not affecting the game. Except for the part where you're scaling a little bit, which is good, but yeah. Okay. Okay, so you go back bottom, that is good. Okay. Listen to Hawk, good. Okay, So I think this is something that's like really hard to do, but when you're on an initiation here like Beastmaster, or you have the power to just stun somebody at a pretty long range, you should really focus on staying less or not staying in lane and just staying off to the side, so that when people do this kind of thing where they just stupidly rotate in like really dumb ways like this, you can catch them out and just kill them, especially when you have more damage on your team like Quap. But this guy just like walks right by here and you have full vision of him. And you do run over, but your initial positioning didn't allow you to go for a kill. Because like when you're positioned in this space, or this space here, like yes, you can kill anybody that's in lane, that's great. But are these guys really going to show in lane like this? Like I mean, I guess this guy is almost about to, but it's very unlikely that somebody is just going to like walk up and try to fight you guys or whatever. Whereas like it's not so unlikely that somebody's going to try to sneak through the jungle to the tower or behind you guys or whatever. Okay, so Lina ends up getting away. The push is now like fairly hard, but not impossible by any means. Okay. Okay. So use Necro now. Yeah. Okay. I think it would have been beneficial to just pop Necro right away as soon as you roar. Worst case scenario, they kill the Necro units and you give them gold. Best case scenario, you just solo kill Lina without TB having to go in like this.
This is something I'm very bad at, using Necronomicon and Blade Bow.
No, that's okay. No worries. Like I mean, having 2 extra units to micro is a pain in the ass for sure, especially if you don't have that many games played. What is your hotkey situation like? Like, do you have control groups set?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. So that's good. As long as you have those, you can get used to it. Okay.
For the first half the game, I was using my hawk control group to move all my hawks by accident, and I didn't realize it until like halfway through the game.
Yeah.
Just wasting hawks.
No, for sure. I mean, that's a problem with like with Beastmaster in general, is his hotkeys are just nightmares because like you can't bind hawks separately. You can bind like if you summon a hawk and then wait 30 seconds, then summon another one. You can bind those 2 specific hawks separately, but then as soon as like one dies, then the hotkeys are reset. So it's horrible, but it's something you got to deal with. Yeah, not much you can do about that. But anyway, I think we should start wrapping things up.
Okay.
So
what time zone are you in?
I'm in Eastern time, so it's 6:55 right now.
Okay, so we're in the same time zone.
Oh, cool. Okay.
When are you usually available for coaching?
Pretty much all day. Like 5 Eastern is a pretty bad time for me, but any time after that is good. Any time before that is good as well.
Okay. Because I'd like to schedule another one, but I think we're gonna need to wait until I play more games.
Yeah, no, I was actually going to recommend that. It's, getting coaching is great and all, but if you can't actually apply it in games, then it's like kind of useless. So definitely like, I almost want to say rather than focusing on like any kind of Dota concepts, like I think you should just play more. If you're at this level and you only play like once a week or like twice or 3 times a week, like literally 2 to 3 games a week, I think you could be pretty good at Dota. I'm not going to try to sell you dreams or anything and say like, oh, you could be pro, dude. But like I could very reasonably see you being 5K if your mechanics and laning phase and everything gets better.
Okay.
Part of that comes with daily practice, though, for sure. It's not easy.
But I will try to play more
this
week, and then I'll contact you when I have more games to play.
Okay, great.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for contacting me.
This was very helpful.
Okay, good. I'm glad. All right. So, do you have any like final questions or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Well, peace, dude.